Be inspired with stories from Africa. I thought I had seen it all until we dance for laughter, we dance for tears, we dance for madness, fears, hope, we dance for screams. We are dancers, we create the dreams, said by Albert Einstein. Music and dance are people's most authentic ways of expression. It was an aesthetic encounter with the Moribila community. It was truly an exciting journey and moment for me. The xylophone, the cultural displays, the music, and everything of that community. What more could one ask for? Welcome to another thrilling episode on the BISA platform with your host, Betty Osei Bonsu, here where passion, values, and environment comes to life. Last week on our previous episode, we were in Uganda looking at the research ghetto lab and how they converted plastics into building materials for houses and toilet facilities. Today, our flight landed in Mali. Mali is one of the world's most poorest countries, ranking 175th out of 188 countries. And this is due to conflicts, illiteracy, poor agriculture, performances, and malnutrition. This was said according to UNDP's 2016 Human Development Index. Moribila, a small community in Mali, is known to commune around the circle of sand in the Segol region of Mali. The main source of livelihood in this particular community is farming, with main crops being maize, millet, rice, cotton, tomatoes, and pepper. During the dry season, guess what? Their lands become very, very dry and become difficult to maintain for production of crops. You know, we have the adage that says that heaven helps those who help themselves. Yes, and this is what the Moribila community is doing. Their dry season does not stop them from cultivation or farming. This community does not only sing and dance, but they help themselves by devising new methods to produce organic fertilizers that can support them in crop production. Those women you see gather the grasses, soil, waste from crops, etc. And wait for it. It decomposes, with a long time. After that, they use it on their farms. The whole community comes out to help. The women are the cleaners and the ones in charge of gathering the compost, whilst the men help by turning the compost so every side can decompose. What a system. But something was wrong somewhere. The compost was taking them so long to utilize because it was taking them so much time to decompose. Because of this, they had to diversify their crops. This was done not until the Mali Health Organization identified these people, bringing in consultants such as the Green Africa Youth Organization. They were able to assist this community in their plight of diversifying their livelihood. BISA was excited to cover this particular story in this community, led by the Mali Health, a non-governmental organization that empowers communities for sustainable living, made this possible. Because their mantra was to ensure that community had diversified livelihood from healthy organic farming methods. So, this is how this community prepared the compost. Women are seen to sweep information lines, and the men, after that, come into the space and do the turning. One thing that had been encouraged by the consultant that came in was that they should desist from sweeping the cover soil of their communities. Unknowing to them, this was one of their major problems of erosion in that community. And because of that, you have the topsoil not being able to sustain and support the crops' life within the community. Secondly, the consultants also informed them that when sweeping, they should, rather than sweeping, they should pick the community of the waste. And after, they should ensure that there are no stone debris within the compost pile, because instead of the organisms that decompose the materials to focus on decomposing the right materials, they would rather be biting on the stones.
Ako na po mana pet kufura ay tabasyon leke ako ni mana ako ni fana mana ko tetu amana bana subu ko aka yoro jama ka bola ki dindala ko tetu no mana beko.
So where we are doing our compost, we have machine that grind all this one before we pour it down. So if it happened that you have machine, can you grind this?
No.
So just
okay. Donc ako kadaka ko machine do bolo mimbe no mbele jele la plan. Donc ko ni ni bla machine ko so ko ketu. Donc ko da to ala ni do fe aka no ko kere la aka yiri no ni man to ko bana.
So what we are teaching them, if they understand and practice, they will have a very good compost.
Ako ubuka min fo yeni kuna usira kan lame ninga tlaka para kenai ka bina no ko tum bari tla.
So the compost don't want this one, this stone. Compost don't want stones.
Ako numbele jere kene ko kaboy kuni kabo kurti do ko fara ko aka jambe vanna ko no ko ten vanna fe.
The stone that you can see, very little is no problem, but the stone that you can see, remove it.
Ako kabo ko membe ni ko ka dogo na kam mise ni taye nyana ko obsega ye ko fe men kabo ko maba ina funi na nyona kuna wo ye ka ko ta bala.
The last one is metal. You should add metal. Metal, yes. What is metal? This.
Metal.
Yeah, metal.
Okay. ako mana boy ako nege fana ako nogo oni nogo fana ta nyoy o fana tituli donc na nege fana ka ko fana ta
So now we are coming to prepare compost.
ako sisa ko an na le do amna nogo de blal dam
My colleague was teaching them the materials that should be in the compost and the materials that should not be in the compost.
ako ale tokle no ale barga nyoy ako ale o e aw teke mina fem nu nganga du nogo la ani fem nu manga du nogo la ako yo nyefo ye.
Since there are majority of farmers here, I want to link that to a housewife. As a housewife, when you are cooking, you don't put everything inside the pot. You cook rice separate, you cook stew separate, you have the ingredients for cooking the stew, you have ingredients for cooking the soup. So as an agriculturer or as a farmer, your crop should be different from the compost that you are making.
Okay, ako ka for ye ko nogo ko nogo bi la ka nyadi nyana ko kata ne jede meneke ni aw ka to ke aka kwala ita so to das madana na daga simba dana aya namnu yere bi ke dagala ko fana be adana donc ko abketi ka beti nyam nyona.
So now, if you are preparing your compost, you need your ingredients to prepare your compost. So it means if you have a farm, you should know the type of farm you have and the compost you want to use for the farm.
Okay, ako sene ko sene femba de ko hali ni bi sene na ibina noko ndo sene femi ngoro ibo de don folo ola oni noko min kaka ko ibo do goro.
So every farm has specific nutrients or let me use nutrients or ingredients that should be in the particular farm. Yes.
Okay, ako foro beno ani dano dan foni aka bena ka noko de do donc iti do ka noko do goro ibi fega stono soro ko fo aka noko ka do goro are ka noko.
For example, if you are growing vegetables, okay, there are some things that should be more in the compost. So you should not just prepare general things and put in a lot of materials, but you should know your farm and know the ingredients you need before you put it inside your farm.
Okay, ako ni bina nogo do ka furula ika nyi ka do goro ni nogo yere nogo ni ko de ba ke ka fende ika sene fende ko kada ka kun nogo do be jardin fo goro tamati ni fende no jardin fo ko utetu e furu kon nata.
So these particular methods were taught to the communities, and you can see how excited they were after learning of their plenty problems. Another thing that fascinated BISA was their storage facilities. We call them the Magician Hut. These huts were built from mud, debris, farm straw by the community, and surprisingly, it keeps the hut cold enough to sustain the crops during times of lower yield of crops or farming times. The huts have been arranged purposefully to serve in the manner that the oldest crop that requires a longer time for storage are kept further, and the crops that would be used immediately or do not require so much time are also brought forward. This is what we call a community. The members are so united. You can see it. Their culture is creative. They have created an innovative solution, an innovative way to curb the common problem that they have, which is food insecurity, by practicing compost and storing their own food. This particular act is what appraisal. Let's path our own way. This community deserves a pat at their back. BISA has always said it in every of his episodes that community-based solutions are relevant for sustainability, and thus indigenous solutions should be patronized. It's necessary because it assists in alleviating poverty and vulnerabilities. This is another inspiring episode on the BISA platform with your girl, Betty Osei-Bonsu. I have been your host. Guys, to receive the next update, please click on that notification bell. And if this is your first time, subscribe to stay tuned. Next on our episode, it's another surprise. Stay tuned. and follow us on all social media platforms. On LinkedIn, it's Be Inspired with Stories from Africa. On YouTube, it's Be Inspired with Stories from Africa. And on Facebook, it's BISA with Betty. Don't forget to leave us an interesting comment.
It's BISA. BISA with Betty. Stories from Africa. It's BISA. It's BISA. It's BISA. BISA with Betty. It's BISA. It's BISA. Africa, gone is tomorrow. Today is here. Achievement to be accomplished. Nothing to fear. Your twice is tall, and it's not too late to take up your rightful position.